role of this conference is to get together, to see the whole community of ManuFuture, and to say people outside or inside Europe how important manufacturing is for jobs and wealth, so that we can get an idea what should we do in future in terms of having a good Europe in wealth and jobs.
Manufacturing is very important for Europe, and the recent crisis has demonstrated that it's really very important. The first countries which have shown a positive trend during the crisis are the ones for which the manufacturing base is very important. I'm thinking about Germany. So indeed there is a clear relationship between the capacity of coming out of a crisis and creating added value and growth, economic growth, and the manufacturing base of a country.
We have very high educated people, and we have very skilled people in mechanical engineering. And mechanical industry is one of the world's #1 here in Europe. So I think we have to be very innovative to be always a step ahead of the competition.
Europe is leading in the technologies in many fields, even in manufacturing. We make here in Europe the best automotives, we make the best machines, we make the best technologies for manufacturing, of course. And we are happy that our products here from Europe are worldwide known, and they should be known, and even the way how we make them.
We cannot live in isolation, and the same can be said for individual companies. They cannot live without sharing their knowledge, without finding new collaborative ways in their supply chains, in their relationship with the customers, in their relationship with the suppliers. So the same should be done at the level of research and innovation.
If manufacturing is going out of Europe, then a lot of jobs are going to be lost in the manufacturing sector, but also a lot of jobs which are related to manufacturing but which are in the services sector would be lost as well, and even the knowledge that is associated to producing those advanced goods could also be lost.
Sukcesy na niwie europejskiej są silnie skorelowane z poziomem dostępnych środków w danym kraju. Ten kraj, który więcej wydaje pieniędzy na, w tym przypadku, badania i rozwój, ma lepszych uczonych, mówiąc troszkę w uproszczeniu, i w związku z tym ma większe szanse na wygrywanie konkursów na pieniądze europejskie. To jest bardzo ważny sygnał według mnie dla naszych polityków. My powinniśmy wreszcie zrozumieć, że budżet europejski będzie coraz silniej rozdzielany na warunkach konkursowych i coraz mniejsza będzie kwota przyznawana za hektar czy na kawałek autostrady. Musimy się nauczyć konkurować i to, tak jak powiedziałem, zależy od tego, jakie będziemy priorytety w naszym kraju sobie wyznaczali.
Powinny być dofinansowany zakup technologii, rozwój technologii, wdrażania technologii, czyli to procesów pozwalających na wytwarzanie wyrobów lepszych jakościowo, nowoczesnych, funkcjonalnych, które znajdą nabywców bezpośrednio na rynku.
Polityka regionalna w moim przekonaniu przewyższa często politykę ogólnopaństwową. I z jednej strony dobrze, żeby regiony wywierały presję na władzę centralną, a z drugiej strony, żeby może próbowały się w niektórych sprawach nie oglądać na tę władzę i próbować samemu działać. Jest dużo środków unijnych dostępnych właśnie dla regionów i ja uważam, że to jest właściwa polityka. Ja jestem silnym zwolennikiem regionalizacji.
Teraz musimy zrobić wszystko, żeby to finansowanie z przemysłu, czyli udział tego przemysłu w finansowaniu nauki i badań był jak największy i to jak najszybciej, dlatego że na chwilę obecną ten udział wynosi około 30%, a zgodnie z programem Europa 2020 chcielibyśmy, żeby do roku 2020 wynosił co najmniej 50%. I te działania, które podejmujemy, są działania na poziomie lokalnym, czyli na poziomie regionalnym, czyli krajowym. I to jest zachęcanie przemysłu do inwestowania w naukę, to jest również pewne inicjatywy, bezpośrednio programy, które łączą przemysł i naukę, ale to są również działania na poziomie europejskim, gdzie w odpowiedzi do Zielonej Księgi, czyli w przyszłym programie ramowym Horizon 2020, chcemy stworzyć specjalne programy, które będą dla małych i średnich przedsiębiorstw, gdzie poszczególne etapy finansowania badań naukowych będą również specjalnie dedykowane dla małych i średnich grup badawczych i małych i średnich przedsiębiorstw.
In the ManuFuture, we put a lot of attention into the topics of research being driven by industrial needs. So, in my opinion, what is most important today is the industry competitiveness for European manufacturing sector to compete on a global market.
The other important point is that Professor Klebus is open to the other Eastern countries. I have always thought that there is a lot of potential in those countries, and the future of Europe depends on how those countries will react and act.
The European Commission think about strategies. This is very important for a region, important for the world, because if we want to widen producing in this global region, in competition between mega economies, United States, Asia, China and Europe, of course, it's necessary to have to create strong and adequate strategies. And we feel during these 2 days that this is realized.
Manufacturing is a difficult job. We don't want to do that. And there are other people in the world so that they will do it in a much less cost than us. We let them go. But after 25, 30 years, now we realize that giving up the manufacturing is a big mistake. Because by giving up the manufacturing, you're also giving up a lot of things. You're giving up the job security, the opportunities. Plus, even if you have to spend a lot of money on R&D and try to make innovation without the manufacturing background or manufacturing infrastructure, you cannot be so successful in that sense.
If you don't produce objects, there are no jobs. And when we talk about services, of course, they exist. If you have a manufacturing industry, which of course will need services, and so altogether it works well. In Europe, you know, we have around 35 million jobs supported by manufacturing industry, and 70 million by services which are induced by manufacturing.
I think it's really important to have a mechanism and a vehicle whereby all of Europe can be represented for manufacturing and bring the key players from across Europe together, because we have common needs in each of the countries, but we also, if we just work at the country level, we get drawn into a very insular way of thinking, and actually the problem is a global problem, and we need the sort of critical mass of Europe to come together.
I strongly believe that always research will follow the manufacturing sites. It's impossible to have the research done in country A and the production done in country B. At the end, the people who do the production, they have a problem and they want to have it solved immediately. And they don't want to travel 1,000 kilometers, they want to have it nearby. And if you have here very big universities in Wrocław, 150,000 students, that is a huge potential. It's fantastic. And that is where you would have the brains to help the manufacturing people to do the right thing and to solve all their problems.
In Europe, unfortunately, we are not in the leading position for young generations to be prepared. So if you go in and check how many young people are educated in China or in the US, we should be afraid of competing with them. Still, we need to move. We need to create the conditions for the European manufacturing sector to continue to invest in order to guarantee jobs and guarantee wealth.
A strong manufacturing base is still a very important part to get out of the crisis. Now, if you look into the situation in Europe, very different. If you look into Spain, they still have a lot of problems, a lot of young people unemployment. If you look more to the north, in Germany, people even say crisis is over. In Poland, you are also out of the crisis. You came out of the crisis very quickly. Your banks were not involved in the beginning. So that means Poland got out of the crisis very, very well, while other countries did less good.